Okay, so welcome everyone. So we have Tony Vega from Mexico City, going to give us a wonderful presentation on presence over provision. So thank you. Take it away, Tony.
Thank you. Good to see everyone. And I'd like to start by asking you a question. If you knew that a single seed you plant today could change entire generations for the better, would you plant it? You might not believe me, but that seed is already in your hands. You see, when I was 4 years old, my grandma would tell me stories about Uncle Rabbit and Uncle Tiger. They're Venezuelan tales, so it's not a Disney thing or characters. She gave them life, and with her voice, she would make Tiger chase Rabbit, and she would go kiribing, 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 and she would go all the way up to my neck, and I would burst into tears, into laughter, and I felt safe. I felt love. And it's the most beautiful feeling a kid can have. And that's how my life started. Then, when I was 7 years old, living in Caracas, my hometown, Caracas, Venezuela, with my mom, four brothers, and a sister, I must confess, though, I was the rascal in the family. Yeah. Has anyone here been diagnosed with ADD? Me too. But in my case, it was always demanding dialogue because that's what I was doing all the time. Talking, interrupting, trying to be heard, to be seen at home. But I didn't get it. You know, I couldn't concentrate in class, forget it. I was always the last dwarf bothering everyone around me at school and at home. So yes, I was a rascal bothering others. I must confess that. Um, so things got even worse. I couldn't stand at my brothers and sisters. They were all just different. They were all wrong, and I was right. Have you ever been there? Hmm. So one day I went to my grandma's house and said, Grandma, can I can I come and live with you? Because I'm fed up with my family, with everyone. I just want to leave home. Remember, I was just 10 years old. And she said, Tony, I don't think so, my grandson, because you live, I live too far away from your school, and I don't think your parents are going to agree with that. But what you could do is to talk to your parents and tell them, ask them if they could bring you on Friday um, afternoons and pick you up at on Sundays evening. And I said, yeah, grandma. I mean, that sounds great. Then she said, oh, by the way, grandson, if you come, then I'm going to let you plant lemon seeds in my little garden. And every time you come, you will water them, and I will pay you 5 bolivars, $3. I was the happiest boy in the world. Like, I was like, I'm not only gonna go away from those losers, but I'm gonna be with grandma and make money. It's like celebration time. Come on. I still remember those days, and I felt I felt my grandma's presence. deep inside my bones, deep in my bones. So uh, what happens then is that the first weekend with my grandma, pure fun. I went to the plaza square to feed the pigeons. We had ice cream dripping down our hands. We went to church together. We even watched a movie cuddled in her sofa. So imagine everything a 10-year-old boy could dream of and more. And above all, I felt safe. I felt seen. And I felt unconditional love. But Sunday evening came. Yep, my parents picked me up back to jail. The next morning, I didn't feel like going to school. So I hid in the garage. Everyone left, and I thought, I fooled them all, 10-year-old kid. So when my brothers and neighbors came back, we played soccer in the terrace, and it was hot. I don't know if you guys know the weather in Venezuela, but at that moment it's a Caribbean, right? So it's tropical, but it was hot. The sun was blazing, humid, and I was sweaty, thirsty. So I went downstairs to drink some water. That's when my dad came from for lunch. And now I'm going to make a parenthesis here. Remember, I'm counting the seconds and the minutes for the week to go by quickly, as if I could control time, right? In my mind, I could. For Fridays to come so I could go. And then when I come down, I see my dad, and he's looking for something in the kitchen, and he says, "Hey, son." I say, "Oh, hey, dad." I was waiting for the punch, right? Because I didn't go to school. But as if nothing happened. And as he was grabbing something, like a pan or something, he said, "Hey, Tony, did you hear about your grandma?" I said, "No, what?" "She died this morning." Uh, I it, it's like stepping into a different planet, um, like into a new dimension. Then I remember at the funeral, we were all there, but I was right next to grandma, and I would see her face. A 10-year-old kid has the belief that they can wake dead up, right? And I kept telling my grandma, "Grandma, wake up. Wake up, grandma. You can't leave me here. Wake up. We've got many weekends to share." And that didn't wake her up. So, grandma, listen, pigeons, church, ice cream, chocolate, vanilla. Didn't wake up. And it's like I started living a life of loneliness. Presence? No way. No way. Because I didn't feel like my parents were giving me presents. The woman that I loved most, who gave me unconditional loving presence, had gone. Like, where would I go next weekend? You know, as I think of it, I'm still like shocked. And that happened 40 years ago. No more movies, no more ice cream, no more church, and the $3 with grandma. I felt like my heart was about to break because I was crying so hard in the evenings. But instead of walking a road of loneliness, I instead realized something really important, and it's that some scars are invisible, but they last longer than wounds. Yes, I suffered, guys. Yes, I felt like I was alone. But even now, I still hear her voice saying, "My little Tony, you're the most lovable grandson that I have. You did such a great work with the garden." They were not just words, guys. They were seeds, seeds of love, seeds that built me, the same seeds that I plant today and water every day in my two sons. Now, I would like to ask you to do something. Could you please close your eyes? Think of the person who planted seeds of loving presence in you. Think or whisper their name. Feel their presence. That feeling right there, that's love. Alive. Here. Now. Now open your eyes, please, and take that love with you. Go and plant that seed in the hearts of your children or your grandchildren. Because when you do, and you constantly water it with love and presence, you will have probably changed an entire generation as my grandma changed mine. Because the loving presence is the seed that grows forever. And I'd like to leave you with a final thought. Provision fades, but presence is eternal.